what you have to do, because this area is sort of a big loop, so on the right side of the loop now, you could actually come up through this side. Now what we have to do is we have to go all the way around the loop, I think, unless we can just go back up to the top. Which we might be able to do, I'm not sure. So that's strange. Yeah, this is the only time they ever do something like this in the game. Yeah, so we have to go all the way around the loop again. Also, I just noticed it's playing Surface of SR388 in a designated area. So that's... Well, there isn't actually anything that officially dubs an area as, you know, a numbered area. There isn't, in fact, there's not really any areas per se. Really, there's just, it's just sort of what you dub as an area. Well, actually, no, that's not true, because there's the Metroid counter in areas, right? So I guess that's what defines an area. But this is an exception here where, you know, you get stuck in this area. The lava doesn't actually let you go to Area 8 yet. You have to do this loop and go back around so you can fight the second Metroid. It's the only time they ever do this, and it's very strange. In fact, Metroid 2 is it's filled with a lot of weird one-time occurrences. But anyway, that was a Zeta, but now it's time for the final Metroid form. This is Omega Metroid. They're pretty annoying to fight, not because of how aggressive they are, because they're not that aggressive, but because of their hitbox, right? They just sort of glide around. So if I try to get up and fight one, they don't move. They just stay in a stationary place on the screen, which is annoying. You can actually repel them with the screw attack, which is pretty good. But see how I'm moving forward and it moves along with me, so if I try to jump back to hit it, I'll just jump into it and get hit. It makes it really awkward to fight them. But what you're supposed to do is what I'm doing here is you try to stun them in the back on their shell sort of thing. That actually immobilizes them for a second like that, and then you continue firing into them. So that's what you're supposed to do, but fighting Omegas is pretty annoying. Thankfully, that's actually the last Metroid type, so I don't have to worry about any new types. And you don't fight that many. Actually, I think there might actually be more Omegas than Zetas in this game, which is strange. In short, I'd still rather fight a Zeta, but you know, the new ones are not that much better or worse. They just sort of come out of nowhere, though. They try to build it up with the second Metroid shell there, but I mean, you know, we just got introduced to Zetas and now we got a new one, so it's just sort of out of nowhere. Also, we go Alpha, Gamma, Zeta, Omega instead of, you know, Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta or something like that. I get that one Omega is the last one because it's supposed to be the strongest, right? Of course, with the word Omega, or the letter Omega, I guess. But it's a little weird. I mean, why Zeta? I guess, you know, what they could have done is they actually could have spaced it out evenly across the 23 letters of the Greek alphabet. You know, have Zeta and then how many of it? 23 divide 4. Uh-oh, that's uncomfortable. Let's just go with the 6th letter then, which is... that might actually be Zeta. Well, even that's the 6th one then, right? Instead of Gamma, because Gamma's the 3rd one. Okay, well then let's go the... Well, no, we need to make Omega the last one, right? I'm actually going by 4. Whatever. whatever. We're into area 8 here, and this is where you know, things start to pick up a little bit more in difficulty, if only because there's no real restore points around here. And what's in this area? There are 3 Metroids in this area, and all of them are Omegas. So yeah, you got a save point in the middle and 3 long corridors with no enemies in them, but Omegas at the end. So yeah, it's a little. It's also very tense. This is the point of the game where they start to, you know, it's really cool how they start to build up this atmosphere as much as they can, because you know, in a real life cave, nothing's going to be living down there, right? Because there's no sunlight, there's a very scarce amount of water, hardly any food. You know, things are going to be living above ground, generally. And of course they reflect that here with there being, you know, no enemies this far underground. The only things that are down here are Metroids. And I guess that doesn't exactly make sense, but it's really good for building tension, so there you go. And I guess, well, it works. So this point, if you're a beginner to this game, I guess, one thing that I kind of recommend doing is after this area, or even midway through the 3 Metroid fights, you can head back to area 6 or something and refill on health and missiles if you want. That's what I used to do, but I didn't do that this playthrough, just got to, whatever. I'll be fine, let's mosey on. So yeah, I'd recommend that if you find it a little tough. I still find them a little uncomfortable, but I guess I just, you know, I either decided not to go back, or I just forgot that I could go back, didn't even think about it. Because it's not exactly, it's not a very long trick, it's only about 3 minutes or something. That's still 3 minutes that are just annoying, you know. 3 minutes that could be used to progress. So that's more lava there. I believe that goes to area 9. But we are still 2 Metroids. Let me rephrase that. We still need to kill 2 more Metroids before we can go back down there. We'll start to go down to area 9. 2 more Omegas, because of course there's going to be 1 Metroid left for the final area. Well, area 9's next. But, you know, I guess we still got area 9 and 10, but we'll see what happens. we'll see what happens when we get there. Hey, you know what, this version of Metroid still has way above the, or Metroid 2 still has way above the remake, because there's no gammas that crawl away from you and go into the little hidey holes, so you gotta chase after them. I cannot stand that about the remake. It's very annoying. So I guess here I decided to farm up a little bit of health with this enemy. It doesn't take very long. I really should have cut this out, huh? Oh, we're done anyway, so. See, it wasn't so bad. So through this much less threatening hallway than the spiked hallways to the Zetas. Well, there's one of these before every Omega fight, so you know, it's a good indicator of how close you are to them. So I believe this is water. It's very clear water. But it gives you jump a bit. That's gonna miss, isn't it? Yep. Whiff. So yeah, Amigas are sort of... they're less aggressive than Zetas. Well, first of all, they have little tails and they wag them when they see you. I don't know if they're just happy to see you or they're just excited, like dogs or something. But they have little tails, and now I can't stop fixating on that because it's kind of adorable. Never mind the teeth in the face and all that. But yeah, definitely use the screw attack to your advantage in order to try and get a more comfortable angle to attack these guys from. Because, uh-oh, that's not very comfortable. Let me quickly screw attack and that forces them back a bit. So yeah, definitely use the screw attack when you can. Here we go. Actually, I guess the only thing that really changes about these fight with the Metroids is not really the fights themselves, it's the terrain around them. So that's, I guess you could say, the area, you know, each new area or room that you get put into is more of a boss than the Metroid itself, because that's the thing that's changing between the fights. I guess, I don't know. So, we only got one more Amiga to get rid of here. Then we can move on to the next area. And then move on to the area after that. And beat the game. So, yeah. It's exciting. Yeah, we got one left, as you saw on the pause screen. So the way that Area 8 works is it's sort of 3 different hallways which are all interconnected at a central point, and then you go down those separate hallways in order to get to each Amiga Metroid. I don't know why they live so separately, but I suppose there's really something to think about. Actually, how do they eat? How do they eat when they're down here? I guess they did just evolve from Zetas to Amigas every single time we see them, right? But how do they eat? How do they drink? What do they eat? Do they drink? Well, yes, they eat. Because they... like, actually, these new Metroids don't absorb life force of anything, really. So that's kind of strange. Actually, well, obviously the X-Parasites weren't even a thing at this point. You know, because Metroids were created as predators to X-Parasites by the Chozo. I guess that's why you don't see any X-Parasites here, because, well, there's a bunch of Metroids around, all 39 of them, and stopped all the less than 39 parasite or X-Parasites. But there's obviously more than that. I don't know where I'm going with this, but this is a weird looking area. Let's just go up to the top of it. I don't know what's up with the bubbles in the walls. That's what they look like to me at least. It actually looks like it's an underwater area. Almost. Actually, we're running dangerously low on missiles, aren't we? That's alright, it's okay, because they'll get refilled sometime soon. Down through back to the main corridor, I think we're at. Well, unless this is Area 9. Yeah, I think starting with Area 9, you start to go upwards a bit more, you start to go further up. Instead of going down into the caves.